what I want is to have more fun. I truly simply want to have more fun in every area I can. I asked the universe for that, and it's starting to happen for me. And I know I'm active in that, but there's an exchange in this life, whether you want to admit it or not. There's an exchange of energy in every scenario. Every room you walk into, you can feel the energy shift, get better, get worse. There's transactional exchanges throughout the day. There's emotional exchanges. Everything is an exchange, and it's no different between yourself and the universe. And you have to have that exchange intentionally. And by having the exchange intentionally, I believe that it starts to coalesce in all of your experiences because you're actively choosing to do it. And so I'm actively choosing to have fun, so therefore I'm having more fun. And I thought, I need to start documenting how I'm doing this and what's happening. And just as an example, in Arizona, everywhere I go, I have a little conversation with somebody. And it's not like this annoying need to talk to somebody. I feel compelled to put in a little bit of an effort because I know how I am when I retract. And that's not to say we all need space, and we're certainly not required to do extra for anybody. But an amazing thing happens when you have a little bit more effort and put forth positive energy when you can, where you feel like it's going to be reciprocated, and not even where it's going to be reciprocated, because then we're getting back into some sort of transactional situation. And I truly believe for myself, I've got to want nothing in return in order for this to work. And so I've been more jovial with people. And I do this one thing, and I want you guys to try it, whoever's willing to try it. And I've done this for years, ever since this sort of transaction has started for us when we buy things. People ask for your name so they can write your name on the order. So when you're in a line at a coffee shop and you get up and they are ready to take your order, they ask what your name is. And I always do this, and none of them expect it. I always, after they go, "What's your name?" I say, "Jessie." And then I go, "What's your name?" And I get this reaction almost every single time. They kind of are taken aback because nobody asks them. Everyone's in such this going through the motions. They're not even present when they're ordering coffee. And they don't even have the wits or the energy or the desire or the care in the world, not that it's necessary, to ask the person who's helping facilitate you to get your coffee what their name is. It's just one question. So that's what I mean where I'm not doing extra. I'm only reciprocating in that sense. And it shifts the person. You can see it where it just creates a little bit of a connection for them and them feeling like they've been seen somehow. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good just to have this girl feel like, "Oh, my name's Eva." And then sometimes you're like, "Oh, that's a cool name." And you get into a quick little conversation. And all I'm saying is that good energy is going to go into your coffee. You're going to get better coffee. You're going to get better sandwiches. You're going to get a better connection and a better day. So that's one of the things that I do is I just start to open myself up to the universe. So in this experience that I've had this weekend, I thought of 5 things that I've actively been doing for myself to have more fun, besides just opening myself up to the universe and talking to everybody. One, this is a concerted effort. I've stopped taking myself so damn seriously. We take ourselves so damn seriously. You have to stop. You're not that important. You're not that special, but you also could be special and you could be important, but you can't take yourself so seriously all the time. And it's ironic because you're probably thinking, "Jessie, you're a comedian, you're a clown. How could you take yourself seriously?" But sometimes I do. And that's where I lose my essence. I lose knowing how to have fun, and I lose my flow, and I get too in my head and almost too orchestrated, and I overthink. And so by stopping yourself from taking yourself so seriously, for me, I allow myself to just be more in the moment and be silly. I am a silly person. My true essence is to be silly and goofy, and it's not in any desire other than to make people laugh. And I think it truly goes back to my sister. My sister was my first audience member, and I never took myself seriously because it always made her laugh. So that's number 1. Number 2 is very simple, and it's kind of connected to how I open this conversation, is to keep an open mind. Keep an open mind about your day. Maybe you want to put a little preface on there and have an idea of how you want your day to look when you wake up. We wake up and we just get into our day. We don't even like go, well, how do I want this day to roll out? And I've been a little bit more intentional about that as well. Like when I wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be a grumpy bitch today. I'm not going to be a grumpy bitch. I'm going to be someone who I want to hang out with and someone I want to communicate with. And again, this is with the idea that you don't owe anything to anybody. It's only a matter of the type of life you want to have. And I want to have a more fun life. Number 3, do something you love and you haven't done in a while. This is something that gets lost in adulthood. We forget and stop doing the fun things. I have a bike. I haven't been on it in years. I have roller skates. I haven't been on in a couple years. I have sketch pads and paint supplies. I have started painting and I'm good at it. You'll find out you're good at these things you've just put down because you got caught in the rat race and you're stuck paying your bills and you're stuck doing all the things to keep your life going. Take 5 minutes and do something you love that you haven't done in a while. Whatever it is, read, knit, stitch, bitch, itch, whatever it is. Do something you love that you haven't done in a while, and it'll connect you to essentially your essence and your true source of joy. And it'll connect you to a way to just live a little bit more in the moment and be and feel more joy. So do something you love that you haven't done in a while. This one's specific and silly. Sign up for a naked painting class. That's number 4. I've never done this before. So in sort of the honor of doing something you love and haven't done in a while, this is something you've never done. Do something you've never done. So specifically for me, I've never signed up for a naked painting class. I don't know if I'm the one that's naked or if I'm the one that's painting. We'll figure that out when we get there. I might just walk there in a robe and see if there's a guy there or not, or a lady or a they, and we'll duke it out to see who's going to be the subject. But I think you should do something you've never done. Challenge yourself. That allows you to do all of these things, not take yourself seriously, keep an open mind, and doing something that you love, which I think we all kind of love a little level of spontaneity. I know a lot of people might be more of a planner, but spontaneity can also be fun. It catches you off guard and sort of takes you by surprise, and you could take yourself by surprise. Sign up for a naked painting class. And number 5 is something that I started this whole conversation about, is to talk to strangers a little bit. I know that's antithetical to what we were told as children. Literally, we were told as kids, don't talk to strangers. There's some virtue to that, and there's some validity to that, rather. There's a desire to protect yourself because the world is filled with monsters, but it's also filled with magical creatures as well. And we have to be in the middle of that somewhere. You can't be too deep into the monster land, and you can't be too deep with your head up in the clouds. We have to kind of lay in the middle somehow. But knowing when and where to talk to strangers can be something that can really set somebody else's day up nicely. And it's so apparent that so many people are going through the motions, especially in their jobs where there's a service industry, UPS, a restaurant, even people who work in the medical industry, where they're just doing their job and no one's thanking them. No one's looking them in the eye. No one's calling them by their name. And you don't have to have a whole conversation. Acknowledging a stranger is enough. And it's not like you have to go and be like Mother Teresa and put your hand on their forehead and avatar them like, I see you. You don't have to do all that. Simple little effort can really set forth somebody else's day and open up somebody else's day for them. And I guarantee you're going to feel good about that. So I'll include these in the notes, these 5 ways to have more fun. You stop taking yourself so seriously. Number 2, you keep an open mind. Number 3, do something that you love and you haven't done before. Number 4, do something you have never done. And number 5, talk to strangers, even though your mom told you not to. Well, my mom's dead, so essentially her ghost is a stranger because I haven't met her. So it's like, what's up, Nancy? Where are you? I'd like to have a conversation.